Good morning, sunshine. Welcome to Morning Inspiration with Friends with our host, Miss Inspiration. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe as you sit back and listen. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. This is really going to be a quick message because, as always, Tulsa is under storm advisories. I've been like my alarm keeps going off because it's still picking up that we're having tornado warnings. We had tornado warnings last night. Tornadoes touched down, not in my particular area, but not far from me either. So y'all keep us in your prayers. This is the downside to living in Oklahoma. But I will say, because someone was like, why would y'all want to live out there? I was like, the good still outweighs the bad. Okay, we don't have tornadoes all year round, but yeah. So we're gonna make this a quick message because I don't know. Light's been flickering. It's just been crazy. But y'all, I hope you're having a good morning. So today I want to talk about something like I just was like, let me find I just need something a little bit lighter, to talk about, right? So I want to talk about because someone asked me this question a couple of weeks ago, and I said, let's talk about what my life became easier when, right? And I want to give you a few things that has happened that has helped my life to get a lot easier when I stopped doing these particular things. So the first thing was explaining myself, right? Um, Living in Oklahoma is a prime example of why I had to stop explaining myself. When I told people I was moving in 2023, it was just like, well, why? Who wants to do that? I would never do that. And like people wanted me to like give a full explanation, thesis statement, dissertation defense on why, right? And these are people that had no desire to come and ever visit me. They didn't visit me when I was in New York. And, these people just have no desire to move there. And that's fine, right? So good morning, Jocelyn. Haven't seen that name in a while. Good morning. Jocelyn is one of my students. I am so happy to see you this morning and see. Hope you are doing a good. Hope you're feeling good, right? But yeah, like I stopped explaining myself. Okay, all right, Deandra. Yeah, Deandra inbox me. I'm having another session tomorrow Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. So definitely DM me. Because I definitely would love. Good morning. I'm getting all the love this morning. Good morning, sunshine. I miss y'all. Y'all making me miss teaching. See, you're making me miss teaching in person. But yeah, I stopped explaining myself. Right? It's like if you are going to live whatever life that that you desire, do not explain yourself, especially people that are not trying to understand. I'm learning more as I get older. Most people want you to explain yourself and they are not seeking to understand. So you got to just get to that point of just being like, this is who I am. This is what I desire to do, whatever that may be, and just stand on it, right? Stand 10 toes down on that and just continue. Your life is going to be so much easier. They're going to be stuck, confused, trying to figure out that's not your job and that's not your place. Your place is you made a decision, you said what you said, you did what you did, and that's it. And anyone that doesn't understand that, there's nothing more that you can do because that's out of your control, right? So over explaining ourselves, we can always, share and say, hey, this is why I'm doing it. But when we start getting into the over explaining, that's when we start getting into dangerous territory because that's not what we should be doing. My life got easier when I stopped waiting for the perfect time. How many of y'all can relate to that? Who is waiting for the perfect time to do something? If that is you, drop a 1 in the comments. I know that for a very long time, that was my biggest issue. One of my biggest weaknesses is being a perfectionist. Being a perfectionist growing up has put me in a space where I have not taken action on things because I was just waiting for the perfect time. I was waiting for the perfect weather. I was waiting for the perfect weight. I was waiting for the perfect job. I was waiting for the perfect relationship. And all you're doing is delaying yourself, right? You're not going to see the success that you want because you keep delaying yourself. I see a one in the comments. Yes, right. Sometimes we will delay ourselves. So I want us to realize there is no perfect time, right? Perfect doesn't even exist. So when we are sitting here delaying and delaying, you're not seeing the results that you want, right? If you need $100 and someone gave you an idea and they said, okay, if you do this and you do it, DoorDash, perfect example, DoorDash, Uber Eats. I've known people, I've been in that space. I needed 100 times. I needed money to get my hair done and I did not have the money. And I think it was bad weather. And y'all know in New York, bad weather nowadays with like rain, we started getting flooding. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I need it, but I'm gonna just go out when it gets better and the weather is better. So now my mind when the weather is perfect. And it was just like, girl, you still need this money. And if it's not crazy and it's not dangerous outside, if you don't go out there and go do that, right, you're going to be able to adjust as you go along the way. There is no perfect time. There's no perfect moment, right? There's going to be good. It's going to be great. But perfect, only Jesus. Only Jesus. So my life got easier when I stopped having this mindset of the perfect timing, the perfect timing. I'll do it when everything is perfect. No, take action now. Do whatever it is that you can do now. Do whatever you can do now. Do it. Because at the end of the day, if you want change, how is change going to happen if you're not doing something? Because when you're sitting down waiting, right? You're just sitting, there's a state, nothing is happening. There's no action, there's no movement. So when you start actually moving, then we start to see some actions and some results. So your life gets easier when you truly stop trying to wait for the perfect time. The third thing that happened is when I stopped trying to control everything. Now I do, there's certain aspects of my life that I wish that I can control every aspect. And I've come to just understand like traffic, I can't control that. But you know what I can do? I can leave a little bit earlier, right? And so like that was one of my challenges living in New York. I hated the fact that every time I went somewhere, if it was 30 minutes away, I had to leave an hour early, right? I had to leave in an hour because I had to take into consideration. So that was my way of having some form of control because I knew if I left in 35 minutes, I'm going to be sitting in traffic and I'm possibly going to end up being late. So that is something that I had some form of control. But other than that, if there's nothing else that I can do, like if an accident just happened and I did leave early and it's still preventing me from getting there on time, I'm not spazzing out anymore. I'm not going crazy because I used to. I used to go like 0 to 100 in 2.2 seconds, and that's not healthy at all. And that's when I realized that's really what made me stop because it made me realize that you're carrying these unhealthy habits, right? And so because I'm trying to control everything and I don't have any control of anything, when things started to happen, I am getting flustered. I am getting angry, which means that my pressure is going up. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? This is how stress starts to show up in the body. And so when we start realizing that it's a lot of things that we have no control over and you stop trying to control that, things start to just be a little bit easier. Things start to just really align. The peace starts to follow you because you're letting it go and you're understanding, I have no control over this. There's nothing that I can do about this, especially if it's out of your control. Right? We can control the things that we say, but we can't control what someone else says. We can't. But we can control how we respond to it. Right? And that could be a good and a bad thing. That's what I always tell people. I remember someone was like, that was mean. They shouldn't have said it that way. The person only said, I said, no. You can't tell someone how to respond to you. Just because you said something and how you said it doesn't mean that you can tell someone. You have no control over that. All you can do is control how you said it. What was your delivery? Was your message clear, right? I teach communications, and this is one of the conversations that we have all the time. People are going to respond based off of what is given to them. And sometimes they're going to still respond however they desire. No matter how perfect and eloquent you put your message and you say it in a soft tone, because somebody may be offended and they might be triggered, they're going to respond how they want to. You still have no control over that. Only how you continue to engage in that conversation, in that interaction. That's it. So your life gets a lot easier when you start letting go and just saying, I have no control over this. Nothing I can do about it. Let me just let it go. And then your life will get so much easier. It's not going to be perfect. Because trust me, there's some days I still wish I had control over a lot of things. The last thing I want to share, that my life became easier when I stopped doubting what I already knew. When I stopped doubting. That's how I ended up living in New York longer than I wanted to. I wanted to leave since 2015. That was the first time that it felt heavy in my spirit, like this is not for you. And I already knew this, and I stayed. And I stayed because I kept doubting, right? Although I knew, I'm like, this is not for me. I know if I go somewhere else, but I kept doubting it because, again, if you are only familiar and comfortable with one thing and you go into new territory, you're going to feel uncomfortable. So you are going to doubt, is that the right place for me? Is that the right thing for me to do? And when I stopped doubting and just start taking action, because I realized this way, I'm going to sit and not take action, and then I'm going to be replaying the what ifs in my mind, which is now going to cause even more stress. And what did we just talk about? Stress on the body, right? So I can either take no action and have no evidence of anything working. I'm just going to be sitting here in my mind of it could have been this, it could have been that, it could have been playing all these coulda, woulda, shouldas. And then if you actually do it and you actually take the action, and let's say it didn't work out. So let's say I moved out here and I hated it. At least I went and I attempted, right? There's some people who would have had this opportunity and they would have caused so much doubt. They would have been like, you know what? I don't think this. They would doubt the whole process and they would take no action. And guess what ends up happening? They're going to stay where they are and be miserable. I would rather go and take a step, try it out, and then see. And this way I have concrete evidence of whether or not something was really, truly for me or not. Instead of just sitting here doubting it like, I don't know. So I knew in my heart that that was not where I wanted to be. And I let that doubt sit there and sink and sink and sink for years, right? 2015 is when I felt like I was ready to leave. I didn't leave until 2023. That's a lot of doubt. And then finally, when I stopped doubting it, stopped doubting that I can do it, stopped doubting that my family was going to be okay. Like I was carrying so much of why I couldn't do this. And then when I finally just let it go and I took that drive, 1,300, I think it was like 319 or 29 miles. When I took that drive, I realized this was easier than I thought. It was easier. We just create these narratives and we play this what if mindset game, and it becomes your reality because you're not taking any action. So I want you to really start understanding that. So I want you to think about what can make your life easier, or what have you done so far to make your life easier, right? What's the one thing that you know that you need to stop doing to help you make your life easier? It all depends on how you're doing it. Some people, they're living it. They're doing it. Their life has gotten easier because they've done a lot of these similar things. But if you feel like your life isn't, what's one thing that you think you need to do or that you are willing to do that's going to help that? Is it the overthinking? Trust me, I'm still struggling with that. I'm still an overthink. That's why I can't claim, because some days I'm good. And then some days it's like, wow, how did we get here? We say that to my mom all the time because my mom will go like 0 to 100 in her thoughts. And we be like, Miss, how did we get here? Right? So I want you to think about that, because in order for us to truly enjoy this life, right? And this is where this is coming from. If you go back to Monday's message and even some of last week's messages, I've been talking about happiness, right? And you're owning that happiness. And if you can do things that's going to make your life a little bit happier, I mean, a lot more easier, then it will possibly help make your life a little bit happier. I can't say that it's going to 100% be the case. But if you're doing things that can help your life a little bit easier, it can add some more happiness, especially if you're not happy right now in your life. So life didn't get easier because everything changed. It got easier because I changed what I was holding on to and my expectations and the things that I'm trying to control. And I can't control people, I can't control situations, and I can't control places. But I can control Tanisha. So I want this to really be a reflective conversation for yourself, right? And if you want to share, come back to the comments after, even if you think about it, and share. When did life get easier for you? What did you stop doing? And if you have not achieved that yet, what are you willing to work towards to help you get to that point? Share that in the comments. I will definitely love. And again, if you ever have any questions, you want to work with me, you can always inbox me. I would love to be a part of your journey. You see right down below, I'm on Instagram, Tanisha Shanae. I'm also on TikTok, Miss Inspiration 25. And go to those pages if you want to connect with me. Some of y'all got my phone number, so I'm just saying y'all can call me if y'all ever need me. Don't ever feel like you cannot ever reach out. For those that know, you know. But I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. I hope you guys have an amazing Wednesday. I will see you back here on Friday. Okay? Friday, tell a friend, share this message, because the more that we get this message out, the more we're going to help people to start living an easier life, right? Yes. Have an awesome day today. I'm not sure who's still here, but I love you and I appreciate you for spending some time with me this morning. Have a great one.
Wow, Tanisha, that was a powerful message. I hope everyone was blessed by today's message. Listen, if you are not tuned in, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Meet us for morning inspiration with friends every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.-ish CT time. See you next time, friend.